Hey guys, this is video 3 of Geometry of 2D Shapes. In this lesson, we're going to work on properties of quadrilaterals, so you can rule off after the last work, write the date, properties of quadrilaterals, and then we'll get started. Okay, so the diagrams that are on the screen are taken from the textbook, so I'm going to do A, B, and C with you, and then I'm going to give you the rest of the exercise to do by yourself. Okay, for this exercise, you are going to need that sheet with all the properties of the quadrilaterals. So if you're looking for it in the textbook, it's on page 127, or you can work with that sharp worksheet that I posted on Google Classroom. Okay, so what you need to remember about these diagrams is that they're not drawn to scale. Okay, so it might not look like a square, but it could be a square based on what they told you in the diagram. Okay, so in the first diagram, what do they tell us? They tell us that basically the diagonals they bisect the angle, so they cut the angle in half. So if that's equal to 40, then that's also equal to 40, right? And it tells us that all of them are the same. So if that's 40 and that, then that's 40, that's 40, that's 40, they're all equal to 40, okay? So what do we know? We know that all the angles at the vertices are bisected, so they're all cut in half. What else do we know? We know that all of them are equal. Okay, there's only one shape where that happens, okay, and that shape is a square. Okay, sorry. So I know that it's a square because there's only one shape where that happens. So what does a square look like to scale? Here it is. Okay, so if you have a look, if you look at the angles of a square, all of them are equal to 45 degrees. Okay, then have a look at your next diagram. So what do we know in the next diagram? We know that the diagonals intersect at 90 degrees. So there's your little box. Okay, so already, if the diagonals intersect at 90 degrees, there's only really 3 shapes where that happens. Okay, it's a rhombus, a square, and a kite. Okay, they also tell me that the one diagonal is bisected. So only one of the diagonals is bisected. Okay. So what can I conclude about that? Well, it's a kite. How do I know that it's a kite? Well, if I have a look at what it looks like to scale, so there's your kite there. So there's your one diagonal that's been bisected, and there's your 90-degree intersection. Okay, so it might seem like difficult now, but if you start looking through the sharp worksheet, it shows you all the properties and you can easily figure out which one is which. Okay, so let's have a look at C. So what do we know about C? Okay, again, we know the diagonals intersect at 90 degrees. So again, it can either be a rhombus, square, or kite. What else do we know? Well, we know that 2 diagonals are bisected. Okay, so those 2 lines will be equal to each other, and then that line and that line is equal to each other. Okay, they're not all equal to each other. 2 pairs are equal to each other, if I can say it like that. Okay, so in a square, all of them are equal to each other. In a rhombus, the 2 diagonals are bisected, but they're not all equal to each other. Okay, so what do I conclude? I conclude that JKLM is a rhombus. Okay, if I want to have a look at what it looks like to scale, here it is. Okay, so there's your 90-degree angle. Those 2 lines are equal to each other, so those 2 diagonals, that diagonal has been bisected, and this diagonal, which is a different length, has also been bisected. Okay, so that's kind of what you're going to do for homework. So you don't need to draw everything. You can just say, okay, I think that it is a rectangle for these reasons. Okay, so this is what the exercise is. It's exercise 13.4 on page 128. We've already done A, B, and C, so you need to do D to I. And this is what it looks like here. So these 3 are done. So, for example, in D, they tell you that the opposite sides are equal. That's the only thing that they tell you. So based on that, what could it be? Okay, guys, good luck.